how do we start?
Oh, we start by saying hi.
Welcome to our first weekly question and answer.
Yes, on Patreon. What is the proper way to breathe in Muay Thai? Well, this is something that I need to work on as well, because in fights especially, I tense up and like hold my breath and try and power up a shot, which is not good. It makes you more tired. Doesn't matter how fit you are, you'll get tired holding your breath. So that's why when you hear people on pads kick a pad, go ash, ash, ash. Like,
yeah, but heaps of people have. Everybody has their own sound. Everybody's got a different thing.
And I think if the guys in the gym that are going like too loud, they're doing it for show. You need to do it for your own breathing, your own sound. My sound is actually like just a like you can't really hear it, but I hear it, so I know I'm breathing. So
you just exhale when you're
exerting, when you're kicking, when you're punching.
That's the word.
So it gets your breathing like stable, like you constantly breathe through your nose, and when you strike, like that's mine. Like
exhale on the strike.
Yeah, and I always try and breathe with my jaw closed, with my mouth shut, and breathe through your nose. Otherwise, you see guys in fights like this, and they get chinned, and you break your jaw. Next one.
What was your toughest fight, and with who?
Oh.
Toughest fight.
Like the fight that of when I was in the ring, that I actually felt like, fuck, who did I feel like that with? No one really. At the start, I was scared of my first bare knuckle. I was scared, and I'm always nervous. But when I was in there, I felt like the knocks on my head was just different than gloves. But after 2 or 3, I was like, oh, it was all in my mind. So it was just mental again. Nothing was really the hardest fight. They've all been pretty hard. I felt low kicks more from like Tam Madsua, that's his name. I felt low kicks off that cunt, and he kicks hard. But the rest have been.
Someone else asked that
different.
who kicked the hardest. So I don't know who my toughest fight was. Like every fight is pretty tough when you're in there. Yeah. You know, like you always have to try your hardest in a fight.
You should never have an easy fight. Like that's fucked.
Yeah.
Every fight is hard. Whether they say, oh, it's like you've got
every time stepping in the ring is hard, and in between rounds it's always hard because you have to try and listen to your corner to win the fight. But yeah, your hardest kick, we've spoken about this before, who's kicked the hardest. Yours was Tam Madsua.
Sure.
In I1. You felt those low kicks,
and I fucking could not walk.
Yeah, Eddie couldn't walk for a long time after that.
It's usually the day after I'm fucked, but on the bus I could not walk. I couldn't walk.
And mine was a random Thai girl that I fought in Chiang Mai. She was a southpaw, and she kicked the inside of my front leg, and she soccer kicked it so hard. And I remember saying to Eddie in between rounds, because Eddie was telling me to block, and I remember thinking I don't want to fucking block because I was scared I was going to snap my shin. So that was mine.
Next. This is the question I've actually wanted to answer in a post, because I get so many questions about smoking weed or.
So the question is, do you guys cut out smoking around fight time, or just stick to green without tobacco?
So this is a huge one, you know. So one, don't smoke. If you smoke, don't smoke with tobacco. That's fucking bad. But I've spoke to a lot of fitness coaches. I've spoke to just a lot of people, a lot of like cannabis enthusiasts, a lot of CBD athletes. Anyway, long story short, smoking under a joint of pure green a night, preferably half a joint just before bed, like 20 minutes before bed, is fine. It won't have any effect on your lungs. And you got to smoke it slowly so the carcinogens don't go in, but just have a little bit for recovery. The recovery far outweighs the negative. So the recovery with your sleep, I feel like as soon as I smoke a little bit, my body just gets sore and I weigh a ton of bricks and I'm ready for bed and I sleep so good. So And the best thing would be vaping or edible.
Would you guys try boxing, or you just want to stick to kickboxing and Muay Thai? When I first started, I hated boxing so much, but after being forced to do only boxing sparring, I really enjoyed using my hands, but I don't know if I would isolate it. Like, I enjoyed kickboxing, being able to use more hands, but with the low kicks as well. But for me, I don't really have any interest in fighting, just boxing.
I love boxing. Yeah, I definitely will fight boxing. It's just...
Sage,
chill out, bro. Fuck.
No.
Inside. Boxing, I love boxing, I love punching, I love sparring. And, yeah, it's just opportunity, getting the right training. And Thailand is Muay Thai, and you got to go to China for kickboxing. So, when I'm later, I think boxing you can... Oh, not really. It's just a different level of fitness, doing 12 rounds But yeah, long story short, I like punching, so I'll definitely do boxing if I get the chance.
Is Brooke considering ever fighting Lethwei? We got this question asked a lot, actually. Yes, I did consider it last year, and I was offered a fight, but they offered me less money than what I get fighting kickboxing, so for me it wasn't worth it. For me to fight bare knuckle Lethwei, I would want good money for it, and nobody's offered me good money
Fair
for
enough.
it yet. And
the female league with men is slowly like creeping back up. Like before, they just wouldn't regard women, pay them enough, and opportunities. But there's more opportunities now for women, like Lethwei, TV Muay Thai shows, and they're getting more pay now. So if the pay goes up, I don't know, it's up to Brooke, but I reckon go for it.
Any goals in Muay Thai regarding belts?
Not really, don't care too much, but it'd be.
There's a lot of politics with belts. It's all about really who you know, and there's a lot of behind the scenes shit with who gets opportunities to fight for big belts, which makes me not want to have anything to do with it, because we fight for us anyway. We fight to better ourselves and to be a better fighter.
Stay there, good boy.
So when you realise the politics that are involved with the belt rankings, it's all a load of shit. Look at Sage.
It's good to show your hard work for sure, and you feel good and like that you got something to show for it. But it's disappointing when you see just the politics and bullshit go on about. Anyway, if you're a fighter, you'd know about belts, and like people had like 8 fights and they got like 5 belts. Just like, so you fought for a belt pretty much every fight. It's just shit, man. It's about who you know, who your gym knows, but it is good to show hard work, especially when you're retired too.
What are your plans after your fighting careers? We actually aren't really good at making plans, because we've tried to make plans before with like business and setting ourselves up, and we just love adventure so much, so we don't know. We just take each day as it comes, really, and like whatever opportunity comes up, we'll think about it.
We'll definitely be coaches though.
Yeah.
We love this lifestyle and Muay Thai and fighting and stuff.
It would have to be
something exciting, like we'd have to go somewhere.
To do with Muay Thai still, to keep that.
Yeah, we'd go coach somewhere for like 3-6 months, but we're just bad at doing long-term plans, but something like that for sure.
Yeah, for sure, coaching.
How do you arrange your own fights in Thailand? What's the second part? And
hang on, what does it say?
How do you organise your own fights in Thailand and abroad? Well, it's just about being here for like 5 years now and just meeting people. I do it all myself and talk to people, because unless you got a really good manager or someone cares about you, like in Australia, there's some gyms that take care of you, but no one gives a fuck really about you, so you got to think for yourself.
In Thailand.
Yeah.
So we've, like, with our experience, like over the years, we've met a lot of promoters, and we've become pretty well connected in the fighting community, that we've been able to get ourselves our own fights. Well, Eddie manages like both of us for our fights. And we've found that no matter what gym you're at, nobody is really gonna fully take care of you and try and get you as far as possible in your fighting career. You kind of have to do it yourself.
Yeah. That's why a lot of fighters just sit back and be like, oh, I need this, I need that. I'm like, man, the only person that's going to look after you is you. Like, get out there, send messages, just make... That's why I always say be nice to people. Like, not just so you're a nice person, but you don't burn bridges and you get good connections, and there's nothing wrong with being a good cunt, you know?
You know? How I like this question. How much extra power does a mullet give?
To the right hook.
Oh, to the right hook.
Well, if I swing it, nah, it gives me heaps more power. It's just a big confidence booster having a nice green mullet. It's just, I can walk around with my head high.
How long have you lived in Thailand? So we've been here for 4.5 years now. Have you ever had a broken nose? No, neither of us have, hey?
Not broken, we've had busted noses, blood noses, black eyes, but broken is
I've had a pretty bad busted nose that was bleeding a lot. That's happened to me a couple of times, actually. And afterwards, I was just praying that I didn't have an Owen Wilson nose.
Yeah, I think mine's been done there, that lump. But that was just like a blood nose and sore for like 2 or 3 months. Yeah. I think that's what, when people have sore noses, they keep bumping it. You have to just let it recover because it's such a bitch to clench to anything.
Yeah, because after having a busted nose, it's really sore for a long time. You can't spar or anything. Okay. I'll just go on to my questions. Best and worst aspects of fighting.
That's a big up and downer. That's what fighting is. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, there's so many. Like, okay, the best would be the after fight relief and happiness, and well, sometimes not, because sometimes you lose or you get badly hurt.
So a lot of the time when I win, I'm just like, that's why you never see a smile on my face. It's just nothing. I think that winning's awesome, and sometimes you're really happy, but I think the best part of Muay Thai is when you're training and you come home and you realise that you love the lifestyle, and it's just like the best feeling. You try and keep that mindset. I think that's the best, because you can say you're happy in life, not just waiting for the fight to win or to be over.
Sometimes even training is not happy. Like,
it's fucking not happy. I know.
Really really horrible days of sparring or clinching. Maybe you get hurt in training, or maybe you get really badly bashed in training, and you think that you're super shit, and then you need to remind yourself it's just a bad day, not a bad life, or that you're a bad fighter.
That's why you got to try and just control like your mindset to say that there will be shit times, and you can, when they come, you say, oh, this is the shit time, accept it. Like, just keep it, not go up, down,
so
up,
maybe
down.
The best and the worst thing about this life is the same thing, you know? Like, the best thing is the challenge of trying to work your mindset and your physical body and push yourself and live this lifestyle. That's the best, and it can be the worst as well.
Yeah. I think just growing and keeping a strong mindset through hard times, good times, is just keeping stable without fucking being a mess.
And learning about yourself and how you can handle things, right? Yeah. Okay. Little breadies one day. Yes, we are going to have children, but that's another story, because I am going to write a blog on this. Hey, there's a lot to share.
Yes.
How much Thai can you speak?
Put Thai, nit noi.
Nit noi, a little bit, not too much. People in Thailand speak better English than we can speak Thai, so we don't bother. We know enough to get through training and order food, which is
directions and hear if people talking shit, but
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to know too much, because Thai people talk a lot about foreigners, and sometimes ignorance is bliss, you know?
Yeah, and I've got a lot of friends that can speak really good Thai, and as soon as they realise that you can speak Thai, they actually isolate you more. So yeah, just fuck.
Okay, so we've had so many questions about how we make money here, how we live here, and if we're on the dole to survive, how do we pay for our life? So we'll share that, because most questions are about that.
I'm not on the fucking dole.
Yeah, we have never been on the dole.
You can't be on the dole here, because they're switched on Centrelink. I'm pretty sure they know if you're overseas, you have to check in and all that bullshit. I've been on dole like when I was 17 or 18, and it's fucking shit.
Yeah, they...
Get a job, cunt.
Yeah, you have to do so much. So, when we were in Australia, we sold our car, our business, everything, which gave us enough to fly us over here. As soon as we were here, we were sponsored by a gym, which gave us food and training, and we just... because we weren't experienced, we were experienced coaches, but we weren't experienced fighters yet. So we helped with coaching the class, running the class,
mopping the floors.
Yeah,
it depends what
we would get here early and clean the gym. Like, we had a few little deals set up when we initially came over, and we also used to fly back to Australia about 3 times a year to work. So we would work, both of us,
just for a
flat
month.
out for 1 month. And then we would fly back to Thailand, stay for a few months, and then go back to Australia, do the same thing.
And that was
when we moved over, we exchanged things for things to get by, and we would go back to Australia a few times a year to work for a month. We were fighting locally then just to get experience, because I had my first fight in Thailand, and when we came over, Eddie had 3 fights. 5 fights in Australia, so we were both pretty inexperienced. So we were fighting locally to get experience, and you only get paid about maybe 2,000 to 5,000 baht for those local fights.
In Chiang Mai. Well,
everywhere, in Koh Samui and everything.
And then we went to Koh Samui. And
hang on.
The gym, like, we came to Pai in Chiang Mai, and we were getting free training and food. It was really good. But we really wanted to go back to Koh Samui after a bit. It was a bit far away, and they looked after us with training. They gave us an old abandoned house with no power. We had to like clean it up, paint it, and...
Oh yeah, so we've been in a couple of different situations. Like, yeah, we've had free accommodation for a while. We lived in an abandoned house that we had to clean up and paint to get the free accommodation. But yeah, we didn't mind at all. It was fine. Like, we had running water and to have a shower and stuff, so it was good. And yeah, we were fighting locally, so we weren't earning much, but for every single fight we've had, we've gotten pay. So that's another question people have been asking, like, do we fight for free or something? We get by from our fight purse. So when we first came over, we weren't earning much, so that's why we would go home and work. But over the years, as we've gained experience and we've built up our reputation in the fighting world, now we earn quite good money that we can get by on and live in Thailand with.
You can anyway, even if you have a good deal with the gym and they're looking after you. If you get training and accommodation, you buy your own food, you can literally fight in a local stadium once a month if you budget. But now we're trying to...
But lots of gyms offer different things, so if you are thinking about coming here and being sponsored, you need to just ask around what gyms offer. Some gyms take a low % of your fight purse in return for free training. Some take a lot in return
Some take nothing.
Yeah, like, it just depends what.
So just get out there and network yourself, talk and be confident in what you can offer, because you can offer them a lot if it's just an exchange of services.
Yeah. So this one, how long have you guys been fighting? Well, I've been fighting. I had my first fight about 4 months after moving to Thailand. So 4 years I've been fighting. What about you?
Well, been here for 4.5 years, and I was fighting 3 or 4 years before that. So I've been fighting for about eight years.
Yeah. If you had to get one of Eddie's tattoos on you, which one would it be? Probably Mother Earth. This one.
She's got a tits out too.
Eddie's just got tits all over his arm.
Nipple there. Look at that nipple. That's Cleopatra. And then I've got a nipple here. That's Medusa's titty. And no, I don't have the Virgin Mary's titty. That'd be a bit naughty.
Say hello.
Go on, mate. We're doing a thing. Go on. Go out.
So, go on. How do you cover your cost of living? Yeah, we've had so many questions like this, so we do it through fights.
Sponsors, fights.
Oh, and yeah, we have sponsors as well.
Yeah, and
that help.
Yeah, life's alright. You know, we're not getting paid like fucking superstars or anything, but we're
getting by.
We're comfortable.
And all we need is food and a house, and we're happy.
Yeah. And Sage.
Yeah.
Were you scared before your first fight? I'm scared now.
I wasn't. I'm completely honest. I was not scared at all for my first fight. I think because I didn't know what to expect, and I was just really excited to just do it. Because when we first moved over, I didn't know if I was gonna be capable of being a fighter. I didn't know. I've never done it before. I'd only sparred before, and I didn't know how I would handle it or if I would like it. So I just had my first fight just to say, fuck it, I'll try it. And yeah, I wasn't scared at all. You were scared.
Oh, mate, she was fucking off with the fairies, eh? Like, getting her hands done, just... I thought she was going in shock, eh? Like, just talking to people, like, oh, like, my Brooke, I didn't want to fucking freak her out, but she was, like, literally just airy-fairy, just talking to people, laughing, and I was like, is she putting this on? What's going on? And literally, she was just sweet as, like,
yeah.
fucking not,
I was just
like,
super chill.
No nerves, nothing hit her, and then she got in the ring and got punched in the head, and then she did.
Yeah, and then I was like, holy fuck, I just got punched in the head. And then I was like, okay, let's do this. But after that fight, it was the best feeling I've ever felt. Like, I was full of adrenaline. I think I didn't sleep for like 3 days. I was just so peaking, so happy.
I remember the feeling of like your first couple of stadium fights, like your first 10 fights. It's just, yeah, that's what hooked us and why we're still doing it. It's just like pure elation and joy in your stomach. Your cheeks hurt. You just, even I remember I lost this one fight and I was just so like off my head happy.
Yeah.
It was just so good. I stay up to 6 a.m. I wait till like the chicken people come out at 6 a.m. as I haven't slept, just watching them fight, and I'm just literally off my head and joy. Just joy,
Yeah.
joy and adrenaline, and I'm charged, and I don't sleep for like 2 days.
Yeah. But also I think it's a lot different when you come to Thailand to fight, because there's no pressure. Like, you don't know anyone in the crowd. There's no pressure from your friends or family. You're literally just doing it to test yourself. And like, if you have a good gym, the Thai people don't care if you win or lose. They just want you to show good heart, like big heart. Yeah, and that's all they care about.
Yeah, show big heart and try and do what you do in training, you know.
Yeah.
And then like they just see.
And don't give up.
Yeah,
that's what
because
they
a lot
want.
of the time you can get mismatched, fucking very easily. And as long as you have a big heart and you try, it doesn't matter. As long as you're getting better. But yeah.
Oh, this isn't a question, but I have to read it. Well, I guess it is a question. How many sick cunts could a sick cunt if a sick cunt could sick cunts? Why bald hairstyle?
Because her hair fucking stunk every time she would go to bed and wouldn't wash it. Nah, it would stink, but...
I don't know, I always wanted to shave my head when I was young. In high school, I really wanted to shave my head, but I was too scared, and I said to myself, oh, before I'm 40, I'll do it. And then when I did do it, like 6 months before that, I became totally obsessed with bald-headed girls, and eventually I just got sick of thinking about it, and I just fucking did it, and it feels good.
She did it at that bloody airport. She was fucking carrying on about it for every 20 minutes. Eddie, should have shaved my head like for like 6 months. I was like, fucking hell. And then one time we were at a stopover at an airport, like Singapore. At
Singapore Airport.
And some crazy bitches in the bathroom, buzz cutting her head, and all these people just seeing like hair. She's doing like a Britney in the airport. Fuck.
I did. And I walked out with a hat on, and Eddie just looked at me. You shaved your head, didn't you? And we just laughed for like 20 minutes. Do you remember? Yeah. Anyway. That's why, because I can. Can you own property in Thailand if you're a foreigner, or are you renting?
Well...
We rent. We would never ever buy property here.
We're too unstable. But I don't know too much about it because I've never looked into it, just by what I've talked to friends about and all this shit. So... if you buy property, you want to buy a gym or something, no, you won't outright own it. You'll always be the lesser person. You'll own 49% and they will own 51%, which means they
it's because you I don't think
you have to be in partnership and with a local, and the local has to have more than you, which means you will be fucked in court.
Yeah, but even we've heard stories of people buying property here with someone that they really, really, really trust.
Like that story the other day.
So much, and they always end up getting ripped off.
Yeah.
Always.
Just greed. Just say you do have a good partner. This is what happened the other day. They had a good partner living for free because he just bought the land under her name. That's fine. She died. The land deed went to her daughter. Her daughter fucking fucked old mate and said, "Give me money."
What training did you do before Muay Thai, and did it help your transition to Muay Thai? Well, I was a gymnast, which I think is a really good sport for coordination and balance. So I think in that way, and discipline.
Definitely the best.
Discipline as well. Like, gymnastics was a really hard sport, and my coaches were really, really strict and sometimes horrible. So the discipline aspect definitely did. The coordination, the balance, definitely. But it's all different movements, And then we both did a lot of like CrossFit style training for a couple of years before we moved over to Thailand. But I don't think that helped, to be honest. Like, a lot of people say it does, but no. I don't think.
Well, you have to be doing Muay Thai first, and then you might get the explosion out of it.
Yeah.
But I reckon, if anything, when I have kids, it will be like, you can't. I know probably a boy would get teased at school doing gymnastics, but who cares? Even if he likes it. But gymnastics for sure is.
You're dirty. Okay, let's make him sit over there because he's really dirty.
Sit. Drop.
Oh, okay. What do you think is the biggest thing that helps keep you two strong and happy as a couple amongst all this training?
Each other.
Yeah.
Because we're both usually cruising in good moods, but if Brooke gets down or in injury, I'll coach her, I'll coach her mindset and say it's okay, and then I get down, I get depressed or some shit, and that's what gets us through. That's why you got to give props to people coming over here by themselves that don't have anyone, that stick it out. Fuck, it'd be hard, and good on you for doing it.
In relationship wise, she's asking about as a couple. So, for us, we're just really, really good friends, and I think that's important in a relationship. Plus, really good Hello, Sage. Plus, really, really good communication. So, Eddie and I literally talk about everything and anything. If it's on our mind, we're talking about it. And support. Holy fuck, we support each other so much. So, if someone's having a bit of a hard time... Sage.
Go, keep talking. It's alright.
Oh, he's on me, my hand. Yeah, I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, Fighting Farrell t-shirts. So we're actually sold out of all of them, but we will be getting new designs with this guy.
I'm there finally. And we've got new sponsors and all that stuff. So the shirts will be even sicker. Back to this bloke.
Okay, what's involved with packing up and moving to live in Thailand? Okay, so we just literally packed a suitcase each, and we packed a backpack each, and we just moved. We just flew to Thailand, and that was it.
Yeah, just sell all your shit, get out of your leases, and go.
Which fight you've had is your favourite, and why? Favourite.
I like fighting bare knuckle and MMA gloves. It just feels so good. It feels good, eh? Just smaller. It doesn't feel like you're playing as much with gloves. It just feels like it brings it back to fighting, punching on for your life.
Who have I fought? What's my favourite fight?
You said Ramona, or the kickboxing?
Oh, yeah. My kickboxing fight.
Yeah.
So, I fought my second kickboxing fight in WLF, and it was a really good fight. In the third round, it was 3 rounds, so in the last round, I, put every bit of energy into finishing that fight as the dominant winner. And then they called it a draw, and they gave us a bonus round. And I was like, holy fuck, Eddie, how am I going to do another round? And then we fought another round, and that was just as hectic and crazy. And yeah, that's my favourite, just because I literally put everything I had into that. And I remember when we were out the back, and I was a little nervous. That was another question from the same guy. Which fight were you most nervous about? So I was really nervous for this fight. I really wanted to do well. And Eddie said to me, look into the crowd. We don't know anyone here. Like, who gives a fuck? Just go out there and have fun. And then I was like, okay. And we did. We just had fun as a team. It was only Eddie and I there. We didn't know anyone else. It was just Eddie in my corner. And yeah, we had a really good trip.
It's like doing the old underpant trick. Imagine everyone's in their undies and you're just fighting.
Yeah. Weird pre-fight behaviours, superstitions. We used to, but that's just, once we did like a lot of mindset work, it's
all it is all this pre-fight stuff, getting a haircut, putting your same ankle sock. I used to do my own same ankle socks, same fucking white pants.
Eddie used to wig out. He used to have to wear white everything.
All it is, putting your fear into superstitions, which is your ankle socks, your favourite pants, your mouth guard, your getting a haircut, same food, all that shit. It's just your fucking mindset.
How do you deal with the pain? Do you just ignore it, or do you freaks enjoy it? So a lot of people who haven't fought before fear about the pain in the fight. And it comes as like a shock when we tell them you don't feel a thing in the fight. Like, it feels like you're wearing padding on your body. You don't feel anything. Like, you feel the impact of being hit, but it's not a pain. It's
like a push. It's like you get kicked hard as fuck on the body, and it's like, I felt that push.
Yeah.
I better block that, because that's not good to... Something might happen if that keeps happening. That's how you think in fights.
Yeah.
And I think people having their first fight are thinking about, I did, and I thought about like fucking breaking my shins. I had like shin phobias. I used to hate knocking my shins on tables. I still don't like doing it. But yeah, I think they spar. They have sparring, and you feel it in fucking sparring. Your adrenaline's not pumping like a fight, and you feel fucking sparring. And I think they go, I felt that in sparring. Just imagine the fight, and then they're done. So. Yeah, in a fight, seriously, same when I get elbowed, it just feels like a knock. Like, I hear a knock, and I'm like, oh fuck, that was maybe an elbow, and then I feel just warm, which is blood.
And I remember you telling me that before I fought, and I thought it was like a bit of, like, I couldn't imagine it, and you don't know until you have your first fight, and then you really think, oh fuck, I didn't feel anything. But you definitely feel it after the fight. I mean, maybe it might take like an hour or two for the pain to really set in, but you've just put your body through so much, so you can't expect to walk out of there pain-free.
You feel it after it, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But it's a good feeling, because you have all like the joy and stuff plus pain, so it's sort of all is a little bundle, and it's weird. That's what fighting's about.
Okay, give us the full story. When did you meet, and how did you decide to move to Thailand? Okay, so we met in 2008. It was my high school after-school party, and we had mutual friends, but my friend hated Eddie and told Eddie he wasn't allowed to our unit. But I hadn't met Eddie yet. But we worked out that we were at the same places lot before we met. But, yeah, anyway, Eddie snuck into the unit, and then we were playing a drinking game, and Eddie's friend got a dare card and dared us to kiss. And that was it.
That's it. That's fate.
And then we were together ever since, really.
That's fate. It could have been your mate.
True, though. And how did we decide? Well, to move to Thailand. We came to Thailand on holidays.
Yeah.
And we met a couple of other people that were staying for 3 months, and we were like, oh my god, I wish we could stay for 3 months.
We were doing 2 weeks, like, what? People do more than 2 weeks? And then, our mate Brody was there, and he was like living there for a year. We're like, a year? What? And
when we were trying to move over, we sent a lot of questions out about being sponsored at gyms and how to live here, and nobody really wants to give that information away. It was really weird. So we had to do a lot of it on our own. But now we get a lot of questions from people, and I don't know why people have a problem with helping people that want to do this.
I think they just don't want people to get it. People don't want people to get ahead of shit. But
yeah.
Yeah, we made so many mistakes, and we still make mistakes, but we made so many mistakes before finding out what to do. So we're trying to let people know how to do it without fucking up like we did, like costing money and just little things that you can have more of a plan and come over and be like, oh, it can be done, instead of going, can this be done?
Yeah.
But yeah,
everything can be done.
It can be done, but yeah.
Speak on management of your relationship, coaching versus love. So this actually is interesting because in a relationship, like, you're always going to have to take on different roles as people. Like, you're not always just going to be boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife. And when we had our Buddhist ceremony over in Thailand, when we got married, the Buddhist monk actually spoke to us a lot about this. So he said, in your marriage, you will have to take on different roles.
Yeah, that's true, right?
Yeah, so sometimes you will have to act like a mother, sometimes you will play like brother and sister. It's not always just going to be that strict.
I understand that more now.
Yeah, me too. And I think that goes with like coaching and student, you know? So in that moment where Eddie is my coach and he's coaching me through the fight,
I'm trying to help you as a coach and as a partner,
but there's no expectation from me thinking that you have to be my husband, because I know in that moment you are my coach and I respect that. And there has to be no expectations, and you have to take on the role. Both of you have to understand why you're taking on that role and why it's important. So for me, it's important that I win the fight. So I'm going to listen to Eddie as a coach, and I'm not going to take anything to heart, because I know in the heat of the moment that's what needs to be done. Yeah. And same as you.
Yeah, that's exactly the same. But when couples try and like hold pads for each other, teach each other, they are stuck in their ego, not letting the coaching and student roll on. They're stuck in the ego of, that's my husband, and I tell him to do the fucking dishes at home, and I'm not letting this cunt tell me how to hold pads, or, you know?
Yeah.
And you need to release all these egos, take on these new roles to get better at things, and, you know,
and learn and gain experience from each other. Like, that's what life is all about, really, is learning with each other and about each other and evolving.
Letting go of your ego.
Yeah.
What about this one? Thinking of getting Sage a new friend. Unfortunately not.
No, Sage is so used to being an only child, you know.
Yeah, he's fucking the best dog with people, with other dogs, but I just don't.
We will. Hopefully he's still around when we decide to have kids, because he will be the best brother ever. He's so beautiful with babies.
He's just like
super soft.
He's just so super slow-mo and soft, and just he's the best.
He's super gentle.
Anyone that knows Sage, he's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
But we don't need to give him another mate, because I love him as he is.
How do you guys find time to be parents, full-time fighters and full-time sick cunts?
Because Sage trains with he's getting old now. He's 7?
Turns 7 soon, yeah.
So I used to, before we knew about like fucking training too much, I used to run a lot. I used to do 10Ks every morning, and Sage used to do that with me every morning. He was fit as, but now he's getting older. He can't even do 4, and he gets sore hips and stuff, so it's a bit sad. But now I just take him on little walks and runs, jogs and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, last question. What's your methods of recovery after hard training and fights?
Good.
So this depends on where we are and what we have available. So we've been in Pi for nearly a year. They have some massage places available, so we get massages whenever we feel sore, which might be every 1 or 2 weeks. They have really beautiful hot springs here that we try to go to often, and they have a herbal sauna and ice bath, so we mix between them.
Yeah.
But like when we were in Phuket, they had things like float tanks, hot yoga, like things like that. I think would be great.
Cryo and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all still the same sort of methods, but old school and new school.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing is, this is after fights, so...
Is smoking weed.
Yeah, smoking
edibles.
Weed. Nah, but just like enjoying the downtime before going back into it, because people jump back into it. and then they go down, and then they have to go back up, and there's no time to go back up because the fight's back on. So if you fight, take 4 days off, take 2 or 3 days completely off, and then start jogging once a day for a day or two, depends about your next fight. But do that, take 3 days off, and then start running, and then start doing lightly and periodize into it.
But it depends as well, like how the fight went, to what injuries you have, like if you can run. Sometimes you can't run,
Sometimes you can't run, like,
Sometimes you can't walk to the fucking toilet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just do little bits and start.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the healthy lifestyle without jumping straight back into it, because how many fights can you do that for before you hate it?
I fought once, and the next morning after my fight, I hadn't slept yet, and I went straight back to training, and I got really sick. I had a cut on my eye that ended up really infected, and my whole face swelled up. So since then, I knew the importance of taking time off after fights. Like, when you really think about it, think about what you've just put your body through. Like, I mean, not just like getting hits to your body repetitively for like 20 minutes, but also the peak of adrenaline, like all the hormones that are stirring up through your body. It's a lot to put yourself through, so you need time to like come down and level out. But yeah, that's all we're gonna do.
Well, that went for about an hour.
Yeah, but we'll edit it down, I guess.
Maybe not. Fuck it, just put it up.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks for the questions. We're gonna do this once a week for you guys, so we'll see you again next week.
And to the people that have coming on a Patreon, thanks for supporting us. It keeps our lifestyle going.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to talk about all of this, because like we know in ourselves what we've been through, but it's nice to actually like say it out loud and go through everything again.
And if it helps people, because people want to like do the same thing, come over, or just even advice and training, and just shit that you can't ask people at home, ask us. I don't give a fuck, you know, like I get scared before fights. I have like, you know, try and train my mentality and stuff. Like anything, just ask us and we'll help you. It's all good.
Bye.